Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this beautiful Tuesday evening. As always, we keep you up to date with the latest news in our community stories, economics, weather, sports, and so much more. I'm your host, Glenora Shipura. Getting into the news tonight, Mayor of Walvis Bay, Trevino Forbes, at a press conference recently said that Walvis Bay municipality is good. The press conference was hosted as a way to clear the air after all the drama due to the Red Force appointment as a debt collector for the municipality. Leandria Mowesh gave this report.
Walvis Bay was previously led with a majority of 80-20% council, 80 being one party, 20 being another party. So you never saw a real clash of minds, a clash of thoughts, a clash of personalities. And Walvis Bay, there are very, I think, strong characters within the municipality of Walvis Bay, strong personalities, and there will be differences, there will be clashes, but this does not stop us from providing services. We have our difference in opinion, but we remain united in our cause to serve the community of Walvis Bay. That is, I think, that is my strong message. The residents, there's nothing to be afraid of. So says the chairperson of council. I will unite the council even to my own cost. It will always be I always try to be. In fact, I recently said I need to receive a reward for being the most lenient chairperson of council because of what I allow in my chambers. It's unprecedented. So we are good. Walvis Bay is fine. There is no problem with Walvis Bay. We are continuing. Our new CEO is coming. The council agrees to disagree. We abide to the rule of law and democracy. That is at play here.
In our next story, we highlight the views of youth leaders. Ina Hengari, a member of the Popular Democratic Movement in the National Assembly, and Innocentia Hoas, SWAPO's Windhoek East Secretary for Information, shared in a dialogue about the youth as voters and as contenders for political office at the International University of Management. The panel discussion, hosted by Namibian Sun's editor Trevor Njembela, also featured law scholar Dr. John Nakuta. Let's take a look at how that went.
Young people will come from the National Youth Service and be trained to become security guards.
Young people must learn to build solidarity so as to disrupt the status quo.
Young people, regardless of their political affiliation, can come together and share ideas for the benefit of the entire nation.
Look, I think that young people must decide what they want.
It is your responsibility to make sure that whatever you share is accurate, you have done your research, so that you can also inform and educate each other.
You know, as it is now, we don't have a law that regulates rent. A two-bedroom flat, as long as it's not a backyard flat, would be 8,500 and upwards. It's unregulated, it's unsustainable, unreasonable.
Youth platform to say that this is not in the best interest of the country. How can we read the fine print and how can we advise in terms of how these contracts are being signed so that the communities where these mines are or where these natural resources are can also benefit?
People mistake Parliament to just be and limit Parliament to just what happens, what you see happen on TV.
Plenty people that are involved in corruption. And then somebody asked, what would you have done differently? And he said, no, if you put me in a position like that, I was still more. Because these guys are actually underperforming in the space of corruption.
NamWater recently held a groundbreaking ceremony for a Rundu water treatment extension and associated works. NamWater's Chief Executive Officer Abraham Nehemiah shares more.
A very special day for NamWater because the event that we are attending is a momentous occasion where we are witnessing the groundbreaking ceremony for the Rundu water treatment plant extension and its associated works. We are proud that we have achieved a milestone that will significantly support the sustainable development in the Kavango East and Kavango West regions. This project is a collaborative effort between the government of the Republic of Namibia and the African Development Bank, aiming at enhancing water supply infrastructure and ensure sustainable access to quality water for Rundu Town and eventually the other smaller towns as well as the rural communities in the two regions. And this is being implemented by NamWater, who is responsible for the project management and project execution. It is a known fact that NamWater was established by an Act of Parliament as a commercial entity with public interest. It operates on full cost recovery principle to ensure that it recovers the cost associated with its capital investment as well as its operational costs to ensure availability of funds for further development of new infrastructure for those people who are not saved yet. This is the only way we can focus on our vision, which is to be a sustainable water utility that provides sufficient and affordable water quality to all the stakeholders.
Running off our top stories, the Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Carle Schleitwein, commissioned the Ondangwa-Omuso-Wonime pipeline replacement at the NamWater offices in Ondangwa. The event marked the beginning of Phase 1, focusing on the 17-kilometer stretch. Schleitwein said that the Ondangwa-Omuso-Wonime bulk water supply scheme is a vital lifeline for the Oshana and Oshikoto regions, conveying potable water over 110 kilometers. It serves both urban centers and rural areas, ensuring reliable water supply to numerous towns and villages. The scheme carries out potable water from Ondangwa, traversing through Omuthia and culminating in the Omuso-Wonime village. However, the current infrastructure is struggling to meet the escalating demand and is plagued by frequent pipe bursts and supply interruptions. Schleitwein said this project signifies more than just infrastructure development. It represents a decisive step towards securing a sustainable and reliable water supply for our communities. The project is our response to the legitimate request from the community to improve water supply to them, he said. Schleitwein added that this water supply infrastructure does not only serve the urban centers but extends to various branch lines such as Onathendi, Onyonjokwe, Onathinke, Onayena, Okatope, Okangolo, Okatope, Omuntele, and several bulk feeder lines of the Directorate of Rural Water Supply Pipelines. In addition to the primary pump station at Ondangwa, he said several booster pump stations located at Oshali, Okatope, and Omuthia ensure the effective distribution of water across this extensive network in the two regions. Abraham Nehemiah, Chief Executive Officer of NamWater, said the project marks a significant milestone in their ongoing efforts to enhance water security and support sustainable development in the Oshana and Oshikoto regions. You can, of course, read more on these stories in the Namibian Sun tomorrow. On the other side of the break, we take a look at our story of the day. Do not go away.
Introducing 061 Express, brought to you by Synergy in proud partnership with Windhoek Express. Here's your chance to make your voice heard to celebrate the businesses that make Windhoek exceptional. From your favorite coffee spot to the salon that always gets your style just right. It's time to shine a spotlight on the gems of our city. Over the next 8 weeks, it's your chance to vote for your favorites to recognize the best of the best. Nominations open on the 25th of April and close on the 5th of May. To nominate your favorite business, simply save this number, 085-785-6231, and WhatsApp #061Express or scan the QR code below and follow the on-screen instructions. By nominating your favorites, you're not only supporting local businesses, but you also stand a chance to win your share of 50,000 Namibian dollars in cash.
Getting into our story of the day, the historic and iconic landmark of Tsumeb is being restored and renovated by Kratz engineers, commissioned by the Tsumeb Museum and with financial support from the German embassy in Namibia. The directors of the museum, Jean Frautze, elaborates more on this major work, which should be completed before the end of this year. Our in-house journalist, Augeta Greg, gave this report.
Go. Okay. Good morning. My name is Jens Frautze. I'm the chairperson of the Tsumeb Museum and the chairperson of TIHA. This is the Tsumeb Industrial Heritage Association. It's located in Berlin. We are driving this project to recreate and renovate the Wirtschaft. It's financed by the German Foreign Office and with the German embassy here in Windhoek.
Why is it important to restore the shaft?
It's important for the town Tsumeb because it's a main building here in Tsumeb. It's representing the Tsumeb mine heritage, and we try to make it as a tourist attraction because at the end of the stage someone can step on it and have a nice view over Tsumeb.
And I see you've got Kratz doing the work?
Yes, we get a lot of help from Kratz Engineering. These guys do an excellent job. They are specialized in the job, and we are really happy to do it with Kratz Engineering.
And how far have you progressed? When do you expect it to be finished?
We try to be finished end of the year, but we have some static problems with the shaft, and we have to do some corrosion research. This will be done by another German Federal Institute, and then we can see how we can proceed. But I hope we are finished end of the year.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay.
The groundbreaking ceremony of the DRC police station took place today in Swakopmund. After the break, we take a look at how that went.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
The groundbreaking ceremony of the DRC police station took place today in Swakopmund between DRC and Matutura. The station, funded by Rossing Uranium Limited, will include a charge office, police holding cells, ablution facilities, and other office space. Ministry of Home Affairs Executive Director Etienne Maritz shared Minister Albert Kawane's sentiments in his absence. Precious Ngitwanapo was there and contributed this clip.
The community of DRC settlement. This police station represents more than just a building. It symbolizes hope, security, and progress. It will serve as a beacon of safety, a place where justice is upheld and where the rule of law is respected. It will provide our dedicated police officers with the necessary resources and facilities to perform their duties effectively by ensuring that our community remains safe, a safe place for all. The presence of a well-equipped police station will significantly enhance our capacity to respond to the emergencies, prevent crime, and maintain law and order. It will also foster a strong sense of security, encouraging economic growth and social cohesion. And as a community, we must work hand in hand with our law enforcement officers, supporting them in their mission to protect and serve the community of DRC. To our police officers, your dedication and commitment to upholding the law and protecting our citizens is the cornerstone of a safe and secure society.
Moving on, according to Economic News, Namibia is prepared to pay its $13 billion Eurobond. On the other side of the break, we expand on this. Getting into our economic news, the Ministry of Finance and Public Enterprise says the government is prepared to meet its $13 billion maturing Eurobond obligation on the 29th of October 2025. According to the Ministry of Finance and Public Enterprises, Ipumbu Shimi, the government has employed a savings strategy that involves setting aside funds specifically designated to cover the upcoming maturity, with $9 billion from the reserves being used to pay off some of the bonds. What we have been doing is putting some money aside, and we will continue to do so until the date of repayment. We will pay off some of the bonds, close to $500 million from the savings that we are putting aside, he said. He further explained that for the remaining balance of approximately $4 billion, the government is exploring domestic borrowing options. This could involve issuing domestic bonds, potentially attracting local pension funds seeking investment opportunities. It is reported that paying off a significant portion of the Eurobond will bring the debt to GDP ratio down to around 56%, which is better than the international standard of 60%. This will also lead to lower interest payment and reduce the vulnerability of the total debt and interest payments to changes in exchange rates. That concludes our economic news. Let's take a look at our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.52, against the euro at 19.95, against the US dollar at 18.57, 2 Namibian dollars and 55 cents against yuan, Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, gold went down while copper, platinum and Brent crude oil went up. Brent crude oil trading at 0.14%, going for $87 per barrel. In international news, on the other side of the break, Palestinians flee Khan Yunis as Israeli forces strike south of Gaza.
The Agenda is a weekly national affairs interview program hosted every Sunday by Namibian Sun editor Toivon Jabela, featuring a panel of high-profile newsmakers, analysts and experts. The Agenda aims to reach high-end news consumers seeking informed understanding of national issues. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 1up2.com and the Namibia Media Holdings Facebook platform. The Agenda focuses on interviews where we put the nation in the hot seat. Contact Agenda at synergy.com.na to get your product and service in the hot seat. The Agenda, focused on today's conversation.
Getting into our international news, Palestinians have been fleeing districts to the east of Gaza's second city of Khan Yunis after Israel issued evacuation orders. Overnight and into the morning, witnesses reported multiple Israeli strikes in and around Khan Yunis. A medical source and the Palestinian Red Crescent said 8 people had been killed and more than 30 wounded. Patients and medical staff have also been leaving the European Gaza hospital in the area as the Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza told them to evacuate. The Israeli military has not issued an evacuation order for the hospital. The Red Cross is reported to have helped patients in the process of transferring to another hospital. Louise Wateridge, an official with the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees in Gaza, asked where people could go as they were forced to leave their homes once again. In this area, people were already forced to survive in severely damaged, destroyed, structurally unsafe buildings after the Rafah military operation, she said. The Israel Defense Forces stated its latest operation in Gaza, saying it was responding to some 20 projectiles that were launched from the area of Khan Yunis towards Israel on Monday. Overnight, the IDF struck terror targets in the area from which the projectiles were fired, including a weapons storage facility, operational centers, and additional terrorist infrastructure sites. It continued. The IDF said Hamas was continuing to systematically violate international law while using civilian infrastructure and the civilian population as human shields. The armed wing of Palestinian Islamic Jihad said it had attacked on Monday the biggest barrage launched into Israel from Gaza for months. Much of Khan Yunis was destroyed in a sustained Israeli offensive against Hamas earlier this year. The city, to which some of its residents subsequently returned, is almost unrecognizable. Nevertheless, many moved back to take refuge from Israel's offensive in Rafah. Now, once again, many more are on the move, fearing a major new assault. That concludes our international news. We now move on to our weather prediction. Let's take a look at how that looks like. Katima Mulilo can expect a minimum of 11 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius, while Vento can expect a minimum of 7 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 24 degrees Celsius with sunny weather conditions. Handys Bay can expect a minimum of 10 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 18 degrees Celsius, while Rehoboth can expect a minimum of 7 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius with sunny weather conditions. After the break, Ari Hohad will be bringing us the latest in the world of sports.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with Wimbledon tennis first. It is one of the 4 majors of the year. It starts on Monday in London, and the number 1 seed in the men's division is Jannik Sinner of Italy, and he will play in the first round. He will play against Yannick Hoffmann of Germany. Number 2 seed in the men's division is Novak Djokovic, and then number 3 seed is Carlos Alcaraz. Carlos Alcaraz is the defending champion. He won the title in 2023. Southern African interest, it will be South Africa's Lloyd Harris that also play in the tournament. He qualified through the qualifying tournaments, and he will play American Alex Michelson, and Michelson is number 55 in the world. On the women's side of the draw, it is Iga Swiatek that is the number 1 seed, and she will play Sonia Kenin of the USA in the first round, a tough first round game for Iga Swiatek. Then Coco Gauff of America, 2nd seed, and then number 3 seed is Aryna Sabalenka. She earlier in the year won the Australian Open. Continuing international sports news with motorcycle news, it is MotoGP. It was the Dutch Grand Prix, and that was won by Francesco Bagnaia, and he won it in his Ducati. 2nd position, Jorge Martin, and in 3rd position, it was Ennio Bastianini. The point standing at the moment is that Jorge Martin in his Ducati is leading the points table with 80 points, with Bastianini 2nd on 59 points, and then is Maverick Vinales on 56. South African Brad Binder, he's number 6 on the points table at the moment with 49 points. He was 7th in the MotoGP Dutch Grand Prix the past weekend. Continuing international sports news with golf news on the men's PGA Tour. It was a Rocket Mortgage Classic played in Detroit, and the winner there in the end was Cameron Davis of Australia. He came in with a 4-round total of -18. Just one shot back for 4 players. One of them was Davis Thompson of the USA. Best South African in the tournament was tied for 6th. It was a good tournament for Eric van Rooyen. He finished these 4 rounds with a total of -15. That's Eric van Rooyen of South Africa. And to close off today's international sports news, it is rugby news. The Under-20 World Cup taking place in Cape Town, South Africa at the moment. The host South Africa, they played against Fiji. They beat them by 57 points to 7. And some of the other results over the weekend, New Zealand beat Wales by 41 points to 34. Then Ireland too strong for Italy, the score 55 points to 15. And England had a good win against Argentina, the score 40 points to 21. That tournament continues through the week in Cape Town. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for joining Sunset News on this Tuesday evening. Don't forget, Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 from Monday to Thursday. From me, Glenn Rashipura, until next time.